All right.
Well, if Dave doesn't come, we probably won't do the topic that he picked out. I'll wait until next week for that.
Okay, sounds good. So welcome, everybody. Today is October the 19th, 2022. This is our All Lives Matter call with Dr. Alex Loyd and hopefully David Peck, if he makes it today. And I'm Johanna Chan. Let me share this disclaimer before we begin. This presentation is for education and informational purposes only. And since we're going to be talking about issues of health and well-being, we wanted to make sure that you understand this information is not intended to heal or cure anything. Everything in the presentation are the opinions of Alex Loyd, David Peck, myself, Johanna Chan, or you if you choose to share. You should always check with a licensed healthcare provider about any specific health concerns you may have. All right, so I don't see David here yet, Alex, so yeah, what would you like to do?
Okay, that's fine. Dr. David Peck, who normally joins me, is on the road and his car has broken down. So that's the last word we had from him. He didn't know if he would be here or not. So evidently the answer is not. So we wish him our prayers and hopes that he gets his car fixed quickly and without too much pain and suffering. Those things are always trying, at least for me. And we're not going to do the topic that we would have done today because David wanted to be a part of that. Okay, so we'll do it next week. And the topic is systemic victimization, meaning feeling like and having the emotions and thoughts and maybe even words of being a victim. Kind of everything always goes wrong for me, poor pitiful me, why can't I have it like so-and-so, you know, that sort of thing. Being a chronic victim, at least in your mind and heart, which is an enormous area, but we're going to wait till next week to deal with that. I'm going to do a custom today. But what I'd like to do, and I've been thinking about this since David emailed us and said he might not be here, when thinking, okay, what could we do if we're not going to do that topic until next week? And what I'd like to do is to open it up for Q&A and ask the people who are here, what issue would you be most interested in today? And if we have 3 or 4, I'll pick one of those and maybe Johanna and I can discuss it just a minute and then we'll do the code for it live like we always do. But Johanna, let's open it up. And this time is not for questions and answers. This time is if you have an issue that you would like to put in the hat as one of the possibilities that we talk about today. And we'll need to do that pretty quick. So maybe don't raise your hand to talk. Maybe type in, if you have a suggestion, what your suggestion is. And we'll be looking at those and choose one, okay? So those of you who are here, there's a number of you here. If any of you have something you would like us to address today, type that in. And we'll give you just a minute to do that. If no one types anything in, I guess we'll just go with something else. I have several possibilities here. But we'll give you a minute or two for that and see if you guys have one.
Right. So if you have your hand up, could you go ahead and type in what you would like to address today? So Bridget has said forgiveness. That's what she would like to address.
All right, forgiveness. Any of the others of you have one? We'll give you another couple of minutes here. April said that she missed the call last week, but she hurt her back and slept through the call. That is okay, April. That is okay. If you want to listen to it, it's posted. Karsten said he would like to discuss not feeling capable, not up to the challenge. I can't do it. That's a really good one. Very common, especially right now in the pandemic and post-pandemic era. And I say post-pandemic because I was watching an interview with President Biden the other day. I believe it was on 60 Minutes, and they asked him point blank, is the pandemic over? And President Biden, this is not me, this is him, President Biden said, yes, the pandemic is over. We have work to do, but the pandemic is over. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what he said. So in this post-pandemic world, a time that none of us have ever seen, and a time unprecedented in history, almost everyone I know is having difficulties meeting that challenge of the pandemic and post-pandemic world that has changed the world, and everybody realizes it. Bridget says, not feeling good enough. Another great one. Man, these are good. We should have been asking y'all these months ago. In fact, David suggested that several weeks ago. David suggested, why don't we have some of you guys that come share the issue? And he's right. Let's see. I don't know how to say that name, Johanna, the latest one.
I think it's Annie.
Annie. Okay.
Yeah.
She said this is the first time she's been here. She read the book, Memory Code and Healing Code, and has a question about the codes. Can I do 2 different codes in the same day? Yes, you absolutely can. You can do 10 in a day, and some people do. All right, Johanna, do you have a choice among the 3? Forgiveness, not up to the challenge, and not good enough. Do you have a choice of those 3, or you? Now Marilyn says narcissism. That is a huge one, but I would elect not to do that one today because that only corresponds to a small percentage of the population, where all of the, not that it's not worthy to do, and we will do it, but all these others are like, almost everybody. Johanna, do you have a choice of those 3, or do you want me to choose?
No, you can go ahead. You go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna choose not up to the challenge. How about that, Johanna?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Well, Johanna, can I put you on the spot, and you don't have to respond, but what comes to your mind with that? Anything from your life or your clients or anything?
Oh, wow. Well, that's bothering me at this moment.
No, the not up to the challenge thing.
Yeah. So a time when I have felt not up to the challenge.
Yeah, or one of your clients or someone you knew, or
oh yeah. This is pretty common, actually.
Yeah.
And it also goes along with not good enough,
Right.
We feel like I'm not good enough, therefore I'm not up to this challenge. I can't do it. I'm going to fail. Those kind of feelings. That's pretty common. I'd say with the majority of the different folks that I've worked with over the years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Johanna, would you say, you bring up a great point. Would you say, I think I would, that feeling of I'm not up to the challenge, I'm not capable, I can't do it, often comes from your identity of yourself.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do a process for that. A process where, because of a wrong identity, and it's usually wrong, at least in my experience, you have of yourself, that I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I can't do it. I don't believe that's true of any of us. Any of us. Now, you may not be able to do a certain thing, but that may not be your gifting. And everyone has a gifting that's something they not only can do, but they're typically better at than most other people. Have you experienced that, Johanna?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. From one extreme to the other.
Right, right. And I would say for me, I've felt this a lot. Not capable, not up to the challenge. I remember the very first LT3 class I had that was about 17 years ago. And it was like, man, all these wonderful people are trusting me to do this and paying me a lot of money and everything. And I went through, and that didn't last real long, because I'd already been doing work for years. But I went through a little bit. Am I really up to this? Can I really deliver what these people need? And I took that very seriously, and it was a big deal to me. Johanna, you have any other thoughts on that before we do the process for it?
Well, I think that one of the weirdest things that ever happened in my life was I was told earlier on that I couldn't have children.
Oh, man.
And there was a lot of reasons why they were given to me. And I, in fact, did miscarry my first pregnancy. However, when I got pregnant again, I thought, oh boy, God made a mistake, because I'm not supposed to be able to have children.
Wow.
But as a little old lady, got me on my knees and prayed and really asked that I could just, choose a different identity and not, it was really, and this was way before I ever knew the healing codes, but God bless her, she prayed with me. And when I got up, I just accepted, well, if God allowed me to get pregnant, I guess I'm okay. I did have challenges, but I had never taken care of a baby before I had my baby. The first time I ever changed a diaper was when he was born. So it was years of challenges, though, because that underlying belief and programming that they told me was there. And every time I got pregnant, there was always this fear, like, it was a lot of confusion. But as you know, I was successful.
I would say you succeeded at that one pretty good.
I finally got over that and just accepted, okay, I'm just going to do this if it happens. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. And by the way, I can relate to that. My wife Hope had several miscarriages before we were able to successfully have a child. And in fact, we were 7 years into marriage. We were 7 years into trying to have a child and still no child. So we were starting to believe that it was never going to happen for us either. And we prayed and prayed and prayed. And then lo and behold, here comes Harry. So let's do the process. I need to tell everyone here, I told Johanna before we started, I actually have a meeting at the bottom of the hour with the U.S. government patent office. I'm trying to patent something. So I have to leave 5 minutes early today. So at 25 after, I have to be out of here and onto that call with the government. So I apologize. But let's get on with the code so that we make sure that we get that in, and maybe a question or two. Johanna, would you like to do the healing code, or I can do both if you're.
Yeah, let's have you do both. It'll flow a little easier. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I would find an issue for yourself of not feeling capable, not up to the challenge. I can't do it. Johanna and I believe that typically comes from your identity. So whatever identity you have of yourself that is leading to that feeling of I can't do it, I'm not capable, I'm not up to it. This would be to heal not only that I'm not capable, but the wrong identity that is maybe the source of that. So I would rate that 0 to 10 for you, whatever that one particular memory or issue is, or just in general. So I would rate that. say a prayer from your heart, and I'll say a prayer in a second, and then we'll do the healing code and trilogy. Father, thank you so much for every single person here. I ask that you bless their physical health, their non-physical health, their relationships, their internal spirituality. I would ask that they be able to live in love, joy, and peace and live their best life possible. And I pray that whatever healing needs to happen for that will happen for each one of them. But may your will be done, Father, no matter what that is. Okay. All right, let's start with a healing code. Left hand bridge, right hand temple. Left hand bridge, right hand temple. Left hand temple, right hand bridge, kind of reverse there. Left hand temple, right hand bridge. Both hands jaws. Slow, deep, easy breaths from your stomach. Don't try to make anything happen. If anything, get out of the way and allow it to happen. Left hand Adam's apple, right hand bridge. And that is all of the code. But when you're doing this at home, I would go through that twice. So you might rewind this and go through it again. I would do it twice. You can do it more than twice, but I would do it twice. I'm not going to do it twice now because of time. I talked too long and I've got to leave in a little bit. All right, now to trilogy, custom acupuncture points. Side of the hand, temples, eyebrows, thumb, collarbones, middle finger, middle of the chest, under the nose, index finger, under the arms, middle finger, sore spot, under the eyes, little finger, under the nipples, chin, 9G. Eyes open, closed, eyes open, eyes down to the left, down to the right. Circle your eyes, circle back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's activate governing and conception vessel 4 times, please. 4 times. This calms the central nervous system. All right, now custom healing centers. Let's start with throat. Please open and harmonize. Base or root on the pubic bone. Please open and harmonize. Heart. Please open and harmonize. Forehead. Please open and harmonize. Under the belly button, please open and harmonize. Crown, please open and harmonize. Middle of the stomach, please open and harmonize. All right, now let's go to left hand brainstem, right hand prefrontal cortex or forehead. Stay here for about a minute. If you want to do 2 or 3 minutes, that is recommended. Just push pause and then play when you're ready to continue. You can do that with any of them, really. Just relax. Okay, hands over the heart. Slow, deep breaths, let it process. And in a minute, when you're ready, take a look at your 0 to 10 and make a note of any change, but also check that 30 minutes from now. It should be better in 30 minutes than it is now. And Johanna, if we have a couple of questions, I've got like 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, let me open Bridget's line. Bridget, your line is open.
Hello, Dr. Alex. How are you?
Hi, Bridget.
Hello. Dr. Alex, this has nothing to do with the healing codes, but I would like to get your Q3 band, and unfortunately, they will not ship to Ireland. And I'm just wondering, how do I get around that, please?
Bridget, send us an email to contact, what is it, Johanna?
Support. Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Support and send it there. Yes, because I tried to order.
.com, and we'll see what we can figure out.
Right, that is wonderful, because I would like one, and so many people around here would like one. But I did try to order it a couple of months ago, and I was told they will not ship to Ireland. I just wanted to ask you what I do about that. But I will do that. I'll send an email as soon as I finish with this here. Thank you very much, Dr. Alex. Good luck in your meeting, and thank you again.
Thank you. Annie asked the question. Her father has a question. He feels great when he does 1 code a day, but then when he quits doing it, he feels terrible. So does that mean when you feel good, you don't need to do the code, but terrible you do? Well, it doesn't to me, but it does to my wife, Hope. I have to tell you that. Hope tends to do it when she feels bad, and then when she feels good, will tend to stop. Now, I do not advocate that, and my practice verifies it. In 21 years, I've not missed a day of working on myself 1 to 4, sometimes even 6 hours. And I tend to not have problems come up. And I think that's a better way to go. And you don't have to do 1 to 4 hours like I do. But like you're saying, Annie, about your dad, 1 a day usually does it, okay? It's both healing and preventative. So to me, spending 10 to 20 minutes once a day in order to, not have problems and for your problems to get better and to feel good, man, that's a cheap price to pay in my book, but that's just my opinion. And I am going to have to leave. April, you asked about trapped emotions. Dr. Bradley Nelson is my closest friend in the field. We're probably two of the only Christians in the field. And his work is fantastic. And yes, I do believe you can heal pain in the body through the emotion code, through the healing codes, through Trilogy. Absolutely. And so I've got to bug out. Johanna, you're going to do customs.
Yes, that's the next.
Okay. And next week, we're hopefully Dr. David will be back, and we're going to talk about chronic victimness. And I don't even know if that's a word, victimness, but that's what we're going to talk about, whether it's a word or not. So have a wonderful week. I love you, and tell your friends, and see you next week.
God bless you, Alex.
God bless you.